Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a continuation of the how-to series. Now we are talking about Count Nefaria. This has been a highly requested video, so I am more than happy to get on the old CCP beta and make a Count Nefaria how-to video. Count Nefaria's got a bit going on, but he's not overly complicated. You just have to know a couple of core things with Count Nefaria. First of all, energy buildup. When the opponent fills a bar of power, they gain 15 stored energy. For every 1% of the opponent's max health or power they would gain, they gain 2 stored energy. This is unaffected by reduced regen or ability power rate. Every 10 stored energy is automatically converted into an indefinite energy buildup debuff. So these energy buildup debuffs are going to be consumed by your special one to gain these things called ionic charges. You can gain them by performing a well-timed block, and when you use your special one to consume the charges. The final 4 hits of each devour 2 energy buildup buffs. This can trigger through block and is unaffected by ability accuracy. Each devoured energy buildup grants 16 ionic charges, 2% of missing health, and 9% of a bar of power. Now, these ionic charges build up to essentially no limit, but the magic number is the magic number is 100 plus. So over 100 charges, you will immediately activate this mode called Ionic Overcharge for 17 seconds. Now, the wonderful thing about Count Nefaria is that while you're in this mode, you can still build up your Ionic charges. So if this mode is about to expire, but you have more than 100 Ionic charges, by more than 100, I mean you start the mode with 100, but you gain 100 more. So when the mode expires, you lose 100 charges, but if you have enough charges to remain in Ionic Overcharge, which is having more than 100 when the initial 100 would expire, you just stay in Ionic Overcharge and the timer resets. So you can stay in Ionic Overcharge in certain matchups for the entire fight. And what does Ionic Overcharge do? You gain up to, let's just call it 5,500 attack rating, based on ionic charges, maxing out at 100, so hitting 100 is very easy to do with Count Nefaria, so you're going to have that attack rate increase. You gain 6,000 physical and energy resistance, 90% degen resistance, and the opponent's regeneration rate and ability power rate are reduced by 95%, as well as granting Count Nefaria 60% of the power denied by the ability power rate reduction. So that right there is damage, utility, sustainability. Everything you want in a science character, Count Nefaria has. In addition to that, Count Nefaria's special 2, per 10 ionic charges, will grant him a Fury passive for 15 seconds. Additionally, will deal an Incinerate debuff or a Plasma against Mystic champions. So you get the attack rating increase from Ionic Overcharge, you get the attack rating from the special 2, the sustainability from the special 1, and from the signature ability, Preventing Regeneration will grant Count Nefaria a portion of the regeneration that is prevented as a portion of his base health. So that right there took me like 3 minutes to just explain everything this guy's got going on. Let me show you a very vanilla matchup to show what that counter evade looks like. That was the one thing I forgot to mention. Count Nefaria has an evade. He has a well-timed block evade that can be a counter evade. So when Count Nefaria would block a basic attack or the final hit of a special attack with or just after a well-timed block, he has a 100% chance to evade instead. This evade has an 11-second cooldown, but the cooldown is ignored during specials, and you'll see that in the example matchup that I show you here. If the opponent's special attack is punished after evading it, inflict a 2,600 energy vulnerability debuff for 18 seconds. There's no stack on these, but if you can get like 2 to 3 of them up at a time, you are dealing so much damage. It is crazy. So I'm going to go against Proxima Midnight here, just an example matchup to show a very easy way to like counter a special attack and show what that looks like, and then I'll show some of Count Nefaria's best matchups here in the later clips. So the goal here is to use your evade to punish special attacks and go for parries against your basic attacks and or special attacks to build up your ionic charges. As you can see, parrying gives me an ionic 10 ionic charges. I'm building up the debuffs on Proxima. I went for a parry there, but I missed. I'm trying to bait a special 1 here so I can... There we go. There's the evade. There's the counter. Place the energy vulnerability. Now I'm immediately in Ionic Overcharge. 1 energy vulnerability is enough to deal significant damage. There's another evade. Now I'm going to go for a parry into my special 2. Massive critical numbers there. 36,000 damage on a non-crit, and just 2 energy vulnerabilities with 15 ionic charges. You're looking at some serious damage, and this is only a rank 3 Count Nefaria. I didn't even get to showcase the regen. I didn't even get to showcase the power gain reduction. This guy is no joke. One of the most powerful science characters we have, for sure. So now that you have a bit of an example of what Count Nefaria looks like in a vanilla matchup, let's actually go into some matchups where Count Nefaria is going to thrive. So, trying to think of who I should start with here. Probably a power gain champion would be good to show off. Let's go ahead and start with, trying to think who's a good power gain champion to show off. Let's go against Mephisto, because Mephisto also has the energy damage, and I will get the energy resistance plus the regen from Count Nefaria's special 1 consumption of the energy build up debuffs. So against Mephisto here, just for the record, this is a rank 3 Count Nefaria, so he is punching up in all of these situations. So we're going to show off what that looks like against Mephisto here. So with Mephisto, you're going to want to play a little conservatively, kind of going for more parries and mediums. You want to build up to your special 1. You're going to get a lot of those build up debuffs from Mephisto's aura, his power gain. Going to go in, parry, get the counter. I was a little late on the counter. That's no big deal. I'm going to throw my special 1, and boom, now I have 6,000 energy resistance. Go for the counter there. I'm just a little too far away, but I might be able to get it on the special 2. As you can see, even without the energy vulnerabilities, I'm preventing the power gain. I have so much energy resistance. Mephisto has 2 auras right now, and it doesn't even matter. I'm going to go for an evade into my special 2. Those little green icons deal additional burst damage, so I'm not even losing any health. I'm getting hit by special attacks. I'm getting these, what's it called? Incinerate debuffs on me, and it just doesn't matter. I'm stealing health from Mephisto with my special 1, and I'm going for my special 2, even without any energy vulnerability. Count Nefaria survives that fight with high health. I even got hit there, and it didn't even matter. The energy resistance is just so strong, and that was Mephisto handled with just no problem. So much damage resistance, so much sustainability, preventing that aura power gain from causing any problems, and stealing the power gain when the aura is active. Count Nefaria he's like everything you could want in a science character. He really is just so strong. So now let me find a matchup where I can benefit more from the counter attack. Let me go fight Kindred maybe. Kindred or Sassy. Maybe I fight Sassy. So Sassy's going to have that regen at the end of the fight, and I can't reverse it. There's no, like, reversing without, like, proper nodes and stuff, and Sassy can't have this regen rate reverse, but I can steal the regen. So, against Sassy's special 1, it's a perfect opportunity to use that evade counter attack, going for a little bit of a counter there. Just building up my power here with basic combos. I'm a little too far away. I'd like to be a little closer to land the counter attack from Sassy. I am going to throw my special 1 here. Get into Ionic Overcharge. Let's actually push him to special 2 and use the evade that way. So, let me throw another special 1. Trying to bait this special 2 before he goes into Wrath. There's the evade. There's the energy vulnerability. Getting hit. Again, it doesn't matter. Gonna go right back into Ionic Overcharge. I was trying to get some specials off before he entered Wrath, but it's no big deal. Again, getting hit doesn't matter. Go for my counter evade into my special 2. I still have 94% health. Seeing if I can steal some regen, but it doesn't even look like Sassy's going to trigger it. And even getting hit there, the physical resistance saves me. I did not play that matchup perfectly. 94% health, just over 1 minute and 10 seconds for Sassy. Again, punching up against Sassy, who I have to wait out with the Unstoppable for. Getting those energy vulnerabilities from counters is so massive for Count, because it just increases the damage so much. Let's go fight Man-Thing and show off a matchup where I can definitely, for sure, land the counter evade and get the energy vulnerabilities every single time. with Count Nefaria. Again, he's just a Mystic generalist. You're going to use him in Mystic matchup and have a great time. There's pretty much not a Mystic matchup that he couldn't take well or really well. That's just how solid he is. And again, like I said, I am punching up in all of these matchups, so the time would be faster with a rank 4 Count Nefaria, and an Alliance 4, obviously the time would be a lot different as well, and plus story nodes will enhance the damage. I've got a poison on me, but that doesn't matter. Going for my special 1. Deal a burst of the energy damage. I'm in Ionic Overcharge now. Getting those energy vulnerabilities. Gonna throw one more special 1 and then build up to my special 2. I've got 212 charges now. That is plenty of charges. I'm gonna stay in the Ionic Overcharge, building up to my special 2. I was trying to use my special 2, but I guess it doesn't matter because now I can just build up to it normally. Throw my special 2. Nice big damage. Nice plasma. 46k crit. And I'm just going to reap the benefits of that plasma. And there goes Man-Thing, 59 seconds. Very, very solid. You're seeing a theme here, 94, 96% health. Super sustainable. And again, these are short form matchups where Nefaria doesn't really have time to fully benefit from his sustainability. Now let's go fight Kindred. And then after this, we're going to go fight somebody along the lines of Nick Fury and show off just how powerful that regen rate reduction can be. So Kindred with Nefaria is a pretty great matchup because you're going to parry Kindred's special 1 anyway. So going in for the counter with the parry, getting the evade, pretty much means you're never going to take any chip damage from Kindred's special 1. So super, super solid. And any regen Kindred might be getting, you're going to completely turn that off. Additionally, something to mention, that is when Count Nefaria enters Ionic Overcharge, his attacks become non-contact, which is so crazy. Get the evade. Gonna throw my special 1 here. Now I'm in Ionic Overcharge. Another wonderful thing about the Count is degen resistance. So even if Kindred tries to play some degen on me, I have degen resistance, which just makes me such a solid option for Kindred. Get the counter there. Go for the evade. Special 1. Stay in Ionic Overcharge. Go for the Relic. And look at that. Kindred's placing degens, but it doesn't really matter. And I finished the fight just like that. So he's just solid. He's super consistent. So much utility. Let me go show off the matchup against Nick Fury to really show like how he sort of bridges the class wheel and how he can take matchups like a Nick Fury fairly well, because he's preventing that regeneration rate. If you're finding yourself fighting a Nick Fury in, I don't know, Alliance War, and you're using, your rank 4 Count Nefaria, you can absolutely handle this guy no problem, because when you're in Ionic Overcharge, that regen rate reduction is preventing Fury from healing that full second life. So what you're going to see is I'm going to be in Ionic Overcharge this whole fight. I'm going to go for my special 1 spams, and I'm going to build up my Ionic charges. I can't go for my evade because Fury has the tactical charges, but I can still go for parries. Doesn't matter, getting hit, totally irrelevant. Go for my special 1. Special 1 again. Almost in Ionic Overcharge. Now I'm going to build up to Fury Special 2. I'm going to bait Fury Special 2. Throw my Special 2. And now I'm going to build up to another Special 1. Get into Ionic Overcharge. There we go. We're in Ionic Overcharge. Take advantage of the evade. Go for the Relic. Consume the charges before he goes into second life. And as you can see, Nick Fury has no second life pretty much. I was going to go for a little intercept there, but he clipped me. But regardless, as you can see, he prevents Nick Fury's second life from triggering. Massive. He only healed like 9% health there. 95% regen rate reduction means that Count Nefaria can prevent Fury's second life from triggering. That right there, that's solid. So just the utility, the sustainability, this guy is just off the charts. I'm going to go into another matchup here with Count. I'm trying to think of another one that would be good for him. I'd like to fight... Let's go fight Dark Phoenix with the Count. The Count's going to have that energy resistance during Ionic Overcharge, preventing any power gain if she would throw a special one. Plus, he's going to heal from the portion of energy damage that Dark Phoenix is going to attempt to heal when she has that Nova Flame on during her immortality. So, you have the ability to easily counter her special too. So, let's build up to our Ionic Overcharge. Gonna go for some mediums here to get some extra charges. I might even go for one more parry before pushing her above a bar. Now I'm going to bait a heavy attack, get another parry going, throw a special one. Now I should be in Ionic Overcharge. We're going to bait Dark Phoenix's special 2 in just a second here. I'm going to throw one more special one, give me more charges. There's the energy vulnerability. And she's placing that Nova Flame, but it honestly doesn't matter. Special 1, stay in Ionic Overcharge. Get the evade once again. Just staying in the mode, not worrying about it. We're going to be stealing the regen from the immortality at the end of the fight rather soon here. Go for another evade, another special 1. Just staying in the mode. Staying incredibly safe in the mode. Bait a heavy attack. Throw one more special 1 here. Pretty much heal all that Nova Flame chip damage. Another Dex. We're staying in Ionic Overcharge. She can't heal, but I'm healing. And now, I can just sort of finish the fight at a relatively decent threshold of health. So, in a situation like Alliance War, Count Nefaria will be very good for Dark Phoenix, because you're going to have that sustain from the Ionic Overcharge and spamming the special 1s, and while you might not be able to access your special 2 for damage at all times, keeping the special 1 spam is going to allow you to stay in Ionic Overcharge for pretty much the whole fight, and not worrying about taking too much damage from the Nova Flame, as well as in Alliance War, the Recovery Mastery is going to allow her to heal beyond the debuffs that you prevent from your Despair Mastery, so you're going to be gaining the regen from that willpower even more, so you're going to stay even better in the health bar race against Dark Phoenix. So the Count is just wonderful. He's so crazy, he's so powerful, and there's so many fantastic ways that you can use the Count and just benefit from all of the things that he has going on in his kit. You can even that is going to do it for the how to use Count Nefaria effectively video. Please let me know down in the comments below if you found this video to be useful, and also let me know what other characters you'd like to see me make how-to videos on. I've got some ideas already cooking in the kitchen, but I'd love to have more suggestions because there's a lot of characters in this game, and I'd love to help people out learning how to use some of their favorites or brand new champs. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the content. Thank you for 46,000 subscribers. I am eternally grateful for all of you subscribing to the channel and watching the content. The road to 50K is looking brighter and brighter every single day. So thank you very much. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot. And also hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.